I just want to share with you a first story of the HaLevi Bach, since we are Eniklach of the Holy Bach. The actual Eniklach of the Bach and also of the Megala Aruch. How far can you go? It doesn't show it. Anyway, everybody knows the Bach, the first commentary on Shulchan is the HaLevi Bach. Bach is the Mishnah of Beis Kodesh, the new house. I want you to know that the Bach was like, not just deep, just awesome depths. Awesome depths. Awesome. And his son-in-law, the Taz, they're always like fighting with the Taz. And the Eniklach from the Taz and from the Bach. Anyway, the Heilige Bach writing is safer, but on those days you need permission from a great rabbi to print it. So he went to the Heilige Megala Aruch. The Bach was the Av Bezen, and the Megala Aruch was the Reish Mesifta. He was head of the yeshiva. So he asked him for a letter of permission to print this book. And he gives it to him. And whenever he asks him, so when are you giving me that letter? He says, oh, I'll give it to you next week. In the meantime, it's already 3 years. So finally the Bach says, listen, you don't want to give it to me, I'll let somebody else. He says, okay, I give it to you this week. But at the end of the week, the Bach says, really, this is it. Give the manuscript back to me and I will ask somebody else. So the Megala Aruch says, I'll tell you the truth. You know that I can see from one corner of the world to the other. And the saddest thing in the world is, to decree in heaven, on the day when your Sefer comes out on the printer, you have to give it. And I want you to live on. So the Heilige David, the Bach says to him, oh, you think I don't see from one corner of the world to the other? I know it also. I know on the day when I must say the comes. But he said, who are you to decide what I should think the word? Let me decide. So he says, he gave it to him. Mamash praying that all of us should live long forever, and all of us should be privileged to come out with 2,000 strong and live after. But anyway, so the Bach got sick. The closer it got, the closer the printing got finished. On the last day, he was really weak, and he couldn't pass Kinshalik. There was the Av Bezen. He was like the Holy Court. A person comes in, and the Bach was lying in bed, and the door was open, and in the big room was 3 rabbis sitting there, deciding. So a person comes in, he says, this person owes me 100 ruble, let's say. And the other one says, I don't. Do you have witnesses? No. According to the Torah, if someone says, you owe me $100, and he says, no, he has to swear. And this person is just about going to swear that he doesn't owe him anything. And the Bach begins making some noise, knocking on the walls. He says, to leave, come in. He says, listen to me. I'm still alive. As long as I am alive, I will not permit someone to swear false. And you and I know that you are not. He starts arguing. The Bach says, listen to me. My time is too precious. I have just a few more hours. Not that long. I don't have time to fool around with you. I'll tell you what, I promise you, you'll sit next to me in Gan Eden and give him the 100 rubles. As much as he was a thief, he must have done something good, So it's unbelievable. When the Heilige Bach left the world, there were 2 Levites. The Heilige Bach, and that little half-gun, half-thief. Unbelievable, right? But I just want to tell you a fast story about my other Zayden, and I'm sure they're very proud of my brother, the Heilige Taz. It's awesome. It is awesome, awesome, awesome. The Taz, was the son-in-law of the Bach, and this is, we're talking here about approximately 1610, 1620. And he was 14 years old, and he finished his Sefer on Yeridea. But again, you cannot in those days print a book without Haskoma from the Rebbe. He went to Krakow, to Kruke, to ask the head Bach for Haskoma on his Sefer. And it's a long, long, long story, and he became the son of the Bach, of the Heilige Bach. And then he went back to Lemberg, and he became the Av Bezdin in Lemberg. And from time to time he would come to see his father. And whenever he came, then the Megala Mukas, out of respect, would also come to daven with the Bach. One time the task comes to visit the Bach, his father-in-law, and the whole city comes. The Megala Mukas also. And after davening, the Taz wants to say Shalom Aleichem to the Heilige Megala Mukas. He runs off. But he went off in such a way that everybody saw it. So I really put him to shame. So, you know, when you put Talmid Chochem to shame, you have to be Mekabel Zifa, you have to sit on the floor and ask for forgiveness. Anyway, the Heilige Bach writes a letter to the Zohar, says, I want you to come here and to be Mekabel Zifa, I want you to sit on the floor and ask my son-in-law for forgiveness. What? Yeah. Anyway, while he's writing the letter, two messengers come from the Megala Mukas. As I told you, you can see from one corner or the other. It says, we have a message from the Megala Mukas. He knows that you're writing this letter. And he lets you know, don't waste your time. You are misinformed. Forget it, don't write the letter. 4 weeks later, the Heilige task comes again. And this time, the Megala Mukas runs up to him, kisses him and hugs him. So the task says, you know, why did you put me to shame last time? Why didn't you shake my hand? It's a good story to remember. So he says to the Taz, you know how holy the Taz was? You know, like all the big tzaddikim. Imagine I'm in trouble, right? And I go up to the holy Taz and say, Mamash Heilige Rebbe, I'm in trouble. He would say, I want you to know that 5 minutes ago I learned this Taisvis. With the Koyach HaTorah of this Taisvis, I give you both everything should be good. He would always connect it to the thing he learned last. And with the Torah he learned. He said, do you remember the last time before you came to Kruke in Lemberg, while you were leaving, a woman came in rags, and she had a little baby. It was like burning up with fever. You could see, God forbid, the baby's on its way out. So the woman says to you, Heilige Rebbe, please bless my baby to be well. So you said, with the Koyach HaTorah of the last Taisus I learned, I give this baby a bracha, should be well. And the baby got well instantly. You stepped on the wagon and you left. But in heaven, they were angry at you. Did the woman only need a blessing for her baby? Didn't you see she is in rags? Didn't you see how poor she is? How broken she is? How can you run off in your car when you see a person so broken? So in heaven, they decree that for 30 days your prayers will not be answered. They put you in hell. So he says, if heaven doesn't want to have anything to do with you, I couldn't shake your hand. But now, 30 days are over. Do you know how deep this is? When someone asks you a favor, maybe they're ashamed to tell you everything they need, but don't you have good eyes? Anyway, I want you to know, my brother was one of the mamish had good eyes. I know hundreds of stories, people came and asked my brother a favor. He always smelled right away what else they need. It's easy. Someone says, give me $10, $15. What hurts you really, right? What's a good doctor like Dr. Ritchie, right? A cute little doctor like Moshe. A doctor, you say, listen, I have a headache. You say, okay, take aspirin. A good doctor says, why do you have a headache? What really hurts? Anyway, friends, this year we need mamish. So much hurts us. Gewalt, the world hurts us. Eretz Yisrael hurts us. Yerushalayim HaKodesh. The matzah of Yidden, the matzah of the world, everything. Everything hurts us a little bit. I want to bless you and me that every piece of matzah. And we should be so non-stingy that every piece of matzah we eat should shine into all the Yidden, into the whole world. And mamish, we should really mamish live forever. And you know something, I really want to bless all our children, especially my brothers, Hadassah's grandchildren, all our children. We should be privileged to be parents, and the rabbis and the yeshivas should not be stingy. Fortunately, we still have a few good teachers, very few are good rabbis. But basically, I was just yesterday in Albany, and one person told me a story about never give out, her son is just about to be turned off from Yiddishkeit. Where is the non-stinginess? Where is non-stinginess? And when you see a boy doesn't want to learn Gemara, you don't ask him. You have to learn. You have to know something else hurts him, right? Not Shleim Ochsen hurts him. Shleim Ochsen is very beautiful. Who knows what hurts them? Like the Taz. Don't take off with the Tazes from Shleim Ochsen, go out. And Mamash, I want to bless all my brothers and the class and holy son-in-laws